Hey everyone, Taz here. In case you didn't know, I'm a Civil War reenactor for the 7th New Jersey Company A, 2nd Division United States Volunteers, and I was recently at the 150th anniversary reenactment of the First Battle of Manassas, or Bull Run, whichever you prefer to call it. That was this past weekend, and I just wanted to share with you guys some of my thoughts about the weekend. Alright, so first, as many of you know, it was freaking hot everywhere around the country this weekend, and unbearably hot, unnaturally hot. I don't know what the hell caused it, how the hell it happened, but whatever. Um, According to weather.com, the high for Friday in Prince William, Virginia, which is where the event was located, was 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Saturday was 101 degrees, and Sunday was 96 degrees. Probably about like 100 people went down because of the heat or snake bites. Snake bites were also common. I think on Friday night alone, 6 people went down with snake bites and from the heat as well. Ambulances were all over the camps on Friday, and that was just not good. I could tell just from the moment I got there it was not going to be a fun event. Um, I've also heard that like 2 people died at the event, and one horse did too. I don't know if there's any legitimate like truth behind that, or if it's just rumors or not. But from what I heard, 2 people died, one horse died, and hundreds more went to the hospital, and that's just really, really sad. I mean, this is a hobby. We do this for fun. We don't want to get hurt. Alright, enough of the facts. Let's move on to my thoughts. I love the way the camps were set up. They were really well organized. So that made it really easy just to kind of navigate the camps. They had water stations all over the place and porta-johns all over the place too with the reenactors, so that was really good. Alright, so on Saturday, I got pretty pissed. It was Saturday morning, and, well, as some of you guys may know, I am a musician, a drummer to be exact. So I'm sleeping in my tent, and like then I hear the drum beat from musicians call, so we could all play Reveille and get the troops up and moving and all that. So I usually have to be up at 6 a.m. for that, and so we can get the troops up by 6:15. So I'm sleeping. All of a sudden, I hear a musician's call. So I get up. I'm like, all right, fine. Must be pretty early. It must be 6 a.m. I guess I have to go do that. So I grab my gear. I throw that on, tune up my drum, grab my drumsticks, and head out to go try and find where the source of the drum was from. And there's nobody awake except this one unit, or I don't know what the hell they were doing up. Yeah, they were awake, they were in full dress with muskets and everything, and I couldn't find where the sound of the drum was coming from. So I go back to my tent, I check my phone, I turn it on just to see what the time is, and it was only 5 a.m. I'm like, oh my god, what the hell had me up at 5 a.m.? Why? And I couldn't fall back asleep. Like, freaking assholes had me up an hour early for God knows what. I mean, what the hell were they doing there? That was really, I was not happy about that. If you're in that unit, I'm sorry. If I offended you, just, I don't know what you guys are doing. Alright, so let's talk about the battle on Saturday. It was supposed to start around 9 a.m., and we had to form up around 8:15 so we could properly cap off and make sure all our gear was fine and there were no problems. When we finally marched out to battle, and everything was all like discombobulated and troops were all over the place, they were formed up in the sun, the beating hot sun was already like freaking 95 degrees at 10 in the morning, and it probably felt close to 105. I mean, over the weekend, Saturday was probably close to 125 heat index, not counting all my gear and stuff I was wearing. Alright, back to the battle now. It was pretty disorganized, the actual battle itself. It seemed like the 28-page script that they frickin' wrote for us was not followed at all. And I don't blame them for not wanting to follow it, because I would probably have forgotten all the shit that was on the script. And, yeah. So, what was I gonna say now? Hold on, bear with me here. Sorry. Alright, as one person said for my unit, after the first shot is fired, the entire battle plan no longer exists. It just goes to hell. And that's pretty much it. So, after the battle, we get back to camp, and we all attempted to sit under our company fly tent and stay in the shade, which, like, with 40 hot, sweaty guys under there was not fun. It smelled pretty bad. We were all sweating and, like, radiating heat and all this good stuff. But it was really, like, too hot to do anything. We were all sweating like there's no tomorrow and chugging bottles of water to try and stay hydrated, which was very difficult. I must have drank probably close to 100 bottles of water over the weekend, and my piss was still like yellow. It was weird. And if you didn't drink a lot of water, you would be on your way to the hospital in minutes. Alright, so luckily we were supplied free bottles of water during the battle, but ice was very difficult to come by. The next thing I want to address is that the cops there were douchebags. Like, high-quality douchebags. And I'm not going to get into detail why, but just take my word for it. They were jerks. Alright. So, ice was still difficult to come by after the battle, and people were going down with heat stroke, and heat exhaustion, and snake bites and all this other heat-related stuff and animal-related stuff and everything. It's just not good, not at all. Ice was still not coming by after the battle, and that pissed a lot of guys off. And, well, like, when ice did come by, they charged us $4 per bag of ice. $4 for a bag of ice. I mean, I can agree why, well, not agree why, I see why they did it, but you charged us $25 for registration to volunteer to reenact this battle for you. The least you could do would be give us some free ice and bottles of water. The officers were getting greedy, like, I'm not sure if it was Saturday night or Sunday morning or whenever it was, but I was just taking a walk around the camps, and then this officer was getting a ride on a golf cart, and he rode by me and by this one, or by the camps, and then these guys just started screaming out, "Ice! Ice!" because there was ice in the back of his golf cart. And they just kept riding. They all ran out to the street, the unit that was there, they ran out to the street, and everybody was yelling at them, "Hey, come back here, we need some ice, we need some ice." And the officer just yelled out, "Hey, back off!" And they just sped away. Like, I've never seen that before. That's never happened to me. That was complete bullshit, and that should not be tolerated at any event. So, yeah, it's not good. Okay, so let's move on to Sunday's battle. Well, not even the battle, but Sunday in general. The battle itself was better. I wasn't up at 5 a.m. Those guys only did it once, thank God. But yeah, I was not up at 5 a.m. Well, by them at least, I was up at 5 a.m. just because I couldn't fall back asleep. I slept underneath the stars that night. We had already packed up my tent, put it in the car, so we didn't have to carry it back after the battle on Sunday. The temperature was cooler, and we went out to battle in the morning. Same time, started at 9 a.m., went till noon. I carry the flag for my company that day. We are a color company, my company is. And it was the first battle that I've ever actually been in that I was like on the front lines, not standing behind, watching, having my view obstructed. by everybody else in front of me, and my God, it was freaking awesome. Several times I actually got lost in the action and forgot that it was like pretend, that it wasn't for real. I felt like it was real, and as a reenactor, there's no greater feeling than that. Like a major history buff, you're just like, oh my God, I'm actually reliving it. And then you look up and you see the thousands of spectators around you in the big tents, and you hear a plane flying above you, and that just kills it. You're like, oh yeah, I'm 21st century, not 19th century. Um, yeah, that wasn't fun. I would have much preferred to have like just stayed out there, and I was so like one time I wanna just I don't know how to explain it, but like I want to go to an event where there's no spectators, it's just reenactors for the weekend. They can go out, do what they want to do, have tacticals at freaking 3 in the morning, have a good time, which is what the hobby is all about, having a good time. Um, and that's really why we're here, to like recreate the battles and honor everybody that served 150 years ago. Alright. This other thing that kind of annoyed me was that hundreds of people left on Saturday night. To me, that's kind of like an insult. I mean, I understand everybody was hot. Don't get me wrong. I was hot too. I was sweating like there was no tomorrow. I was about to pass out. Dozens of people have already passed out at that point. But, I mean, how do you think soldiers felt 150 years ago? They didn't have ice, they didn't have water, or as much water as we did there. And just out of respect, out of respect to the soldiers who actually fought 150 years ago, you have to follow in their footsteps and educate everybody else about what they did. I mean, you should have stayed. If you left, you should have stayed. I mean, if you left early, don't take this as an insult, but you guys really definitely should have stayed because Sunday was much better weather-wise. The soldiers, like back then, they couldn't have rode home because it was too hot. In my opinion, that was very disrespectful of you if you left early. If not, well, good job. Thank you for sticking in there. Thank you for honoring the soldiers and being respectful towards them. And my final complaint about the reenactment was that they told us we couldn't leave after the battle was over. Battle was over. We got back to camp at 11:30 in the morning, and they told us we couldn't leave till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And they were going to make us wait. So we thought, alright, maybe, what are they going to do? They're not going to stop 10,000 guys with guns that want to get out. And we were walking up to go get my car so we can bring it back to camp and start to pack up our stuff. And they put a fire truck in front of the exit. They told us they were not going to move the fire truck until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then we're not going to let people out. But I don't know what happened, because at 1:30, that fire truck was moved. And like I said, you can't stop 10,000 guys with guns. Oh crap, I'm almost out of time here. So, I mean, I survived off of bacon, hardtack, and beef jerky all weekend, and water, of course, and some Gatorade. And for those that left, like I said earlier, you really should have stayed. The battle Sunday was much better than Saturday. It was cooler, ice and water was better supplied, and everything just ran smoother. You don't have any time, yeah. So, alright. I gotta end this now because it's gotten way too long. If you have any questions for me, feel free to comment below and I'll get back to you if I can. Click on the like button and don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to have a lot more vids coming up soon. Gonna have some NHL videos, some more Black Ops videos, probably going to try and get some more Civil War videos for you guys that are big history buffs like the Civil War. And, alright, so on behalf of Taz and Cromer, thanks for watching everyone. Stay cool out there. I know it's going to be really freaking hot this entire week again. So, alright, stay cool, and thank you for watching.